Hi, I'm the creator of the Whipping Witch and Omneiris, and today I will be drawing a blue witch. So for November, I've decided to tackle my own type of November by drawing 8 witches with different colors each time. And I also decided that I would be using for that all of my marker collections, so a 216 marker pack from Ohuhu, some dual-tipped water-based markers from Ohuhu too. I have 60 of those, I think. 60 paint markers from Artex, and 36 color pencil, polychromos color pencil from Faber-Castell. And I started this challenge by sorting through all of these sorting them by color. So I would be using all of those for the month of November, and I wouldn't be using anything twice. Blue is the 5th drawing I'm making. I already have videos about the red witch, orange witch, yellow witch, and green witch, so go check those out if you haven't already. I feel like I'm basically repeating myself in every video now, but the witches of Omneiris have the different covens depending on their magics, and each coven has their own tattoo to symbolize what their magic is, and so other species can kind of know what type of witches they are. So I associated the color blue with the coven that is very linked to nature, so magic that basically makes plants grow or allows witches to talk to animals and stuff like that. Now every witch has her own personal magic, but there are common themes for each coven. And the tattoo for the nature witches is basically a vine going up the arm. Somewhat basic, but does the job. And this witch was actually the first I did a thumbnail for, because it's so very easy to get inspired by nature. There are flowers, trees, plants, and animals. And so I had to decide what exactly I wanted to include in this design. And the first idea that came to mind was actually a wave hat. And I don't think I did it justice, really, but basically her hat is in the shape of a wave from the ocean, because I suppose that's part of nature. And then I gave her leaves in her hair, and I used my greenest blues for that. And then there are flowers on her dress, and branches behind her, and a bird sitting there, and there are butterflies flying from her open palm, I guess. And then just random plants growing in front and behind her. And I just added some random blueberries too, because they're blue. So yeah, there was a lot happening in this design, and I had a lot of markers to go through, so that's good. Blue is the 2nd color with the most art supplies after green, and they're right next to each other on the color wheel, which also makes it hard to make the difference between the two. I have a lot of greenish blues or bluish greens that could actually go either way. So I just tried to keep roughly the same number of markers in both colors, and then I just went with it, because variety actually helps a lot in these challenges. It brings some contrast they're really easy to lose contrast with only one color. So yeah, for this illustration, I tried to keep my contrast by making the witch pretty light and the objects around and behind her pretty dark. I do have the original swatch sheets I had with my art supplies laid out in front of me while I'm drawing, but I'm not really looking at them all that much. I do look at it when I'm trying to figure out which marker between two is darker, but otherwise I'm just using the caps and trusting them, which might be a mistake, but it works. I'm not that picky. But yeah. And I'm not swatching these while I'm using them either. I'm just going with the flow. And if something is not quite the color I imagined, I just deal with it. I have plenty of other markers, and then I'm going to go over it all with my paint markers, liners, and color pencil. So plenty of opportunities to make everything clean and beautiful. Kind of funny because I just said I'm not that picky, and then I'm thinking, what should I say next? And the first thing that comes to mind is what I do not like about this illustration, and that's not the smoothest transition, I think. Especially since what I do not like hasn't happened yet, so yeah. But basically, I feel like the illustration, while being blue, is not blue enough. And by that I mean that I used pretty desaturated blues for the largest areas of this drawing, like the dress, the hat, and the background. And so it's very desaturated. But at the same time, that's what provides contrast. But yeah, all the bright blues I have, I used for the small flowers, the small butterflies, the small lantern, the small bird. And then I do have some saturated blues, but that are very dark, that I used for the wood and the plants. But those are still very thin and small areas. So it's really a grayish blue illustration. So yeah, I kind of wished I had picked my colors differently, and well, maybe I should have planned out a bit better my contrast before going in and coloring everything. Because my thumbnails only included like elements and a basic graphite sketch. So I didn't know where I would place my colors before starting the illustration. I didn't really know what colors I had. Well, I did have my markers in front of me, I vaguely knew, but I really didn't plan out where I would put my dark colors, my light colors, and my mid-tones. So yeah, if I ever do this again, I might have to plan things out a bit better before going in. Because it's not blue enough. I wanted more blue. Oh well, I'll deal with it. I mean, it is blue, just cloudy blue. And I am done with my alcohol marker base, and I can add a ton of highlights with my paint markers. I really love using paint markers over alcohol markers. It's really satisfying. And like, I tend to go a bit too dark with my alcohol markers and to not leave enough space for highlights, so the paint markers allow me to go back to a lighter color after putting down my dark alcohol marker, so that's really neat. I can add some light from the lantern really easily, and I heavily rely on that to pull the whole illustration together. And once I'm done with the paint markers, I can use my fine liners to add a bit more definition to certain places like the face, which was otherwise terrifying. So yeah, add some lashes. I draw in the mouth and the nose, which are really hard to define with alcohol markers on a small scale like that. So yeah, I basically start with my lighter fine liners to add lines to the lighter areas of my drawing. And then I go darker and darker in markers for the darker areas of the drawing. And I actually do add lines pretty much everywhere. But I don't fully consider it line art because it's kind of destructured. Like, there's no logic to where I use the color except for, well, vaguely the correct value. And the transitions are pretty random too between the colors. So yeah, I'm just putting the lines wherever I see they're needed for the first, well, wherever I see them needed. And then I put it down and I pick the next one, and then I'm like, ooh, I need to add lines there too. And I have a different marker in hand, but it doesn't actually matter. I just fill in that space. There really isn't much planning involved in these illustrations. I mean, basically right before starting the illustration, I have it taped down in front of me, I have my camera ready, my markers all spread out, and I'm just wondering where I have to start. And I have no idea, and so I just take 2 minutes to try to figure out where I put my values. And then I start filming, and I need to figure out which marker I pick up first. And honestly, that's the hardest decision for the drawing. Once I start, it's easy enough to keep going, but the first step is always the hardest. Well, the first and the last, because I need to decide when I'm done, or when I keep adding more. So really, I do take a lot of decisions while I'm drawing. I am a responsible adult. Oh, there. I decided when to stop. Congratulate me. I am being so sarcastic. Anyway, here is the close-up of my blue witch connected to nature. And everything I've used in this illustration, which once again is a lot. Anyway, thank you for watching and stay tuned for part 6.